Hi everyone, welcome to my new YouTube channel. I've had a lot of friends ask me how I lost 50 pounds around the pandemic, and I wanted to create this channel so that I could share some of the things that helped me through this weight loss journey. I'm gonna go over 3 main things that really helped me on my weight loss journey. So the first one is gonna be mindset, the second one's gonna be activity levels, and the third, but definitely not the least, last but not least, is going to be food. So stick around and let's learn a little bit about each one of these. So the first thing that I want to talk about is going to be getting your mindset ready for a weight loss journey. For me, it started out with the realization that I just was not happy. I've actually had a hard time looking for old footage of myself back when I weighed as much as I did. At my heaviest, I was about 175. For me, it was a lot. I'm only 5'1". It was very difficult for me on my knees especially. I used to wear a lot of knee braces because I had a lot of knee pain. Once all of that weight started coming off, I was able to feel a lot better, and actually I feel so good now that I run 2 or 3 times a week and participate in 5 or 10K races every month. Now if you would have asked me 2 years ago if I ever saw doing running like this in my future, I would have told you that that's crazy. I never imagined that I would be where I am today. So I would love to tell you that weight loss journeys are, fast and fun and simple, but they're not. And that's why the first thing that I really want to stress is that you have to have a ready mindset to start this. Because losing weight isn't just gonna be, let's start this diet, let's do these exercises, and then we're gonna expect results. Because once you stop doing these kinds of things, then the weight's just gonna come back. You really have to be prepared to change your whole lifestyle. You have to find what really works for you, and that's what you have to get your mind ready for. I used to have a completely different lifestyle before I lost all the weight that I did. I was very couch potato-ish. Didn't really go out much. I had a desk job. I'd go to the office, come back, have something for dinner, which most of the time I ate out a lot. Restaurants, fast food, because I worked at the office all day, I really didn't have time for it. I was tired and I just wanted something fast and I needed that. But after I was done eating some of that food, I would feel stuffed and I'd look at myself and I'm just like, I'll start my diet tomorrow. But that's the thing, that part of the mindset is you can't just keep pushing it until tomorrow. You have to start today, because what is today but yesterday's tomorrow, and that's gonna be every day. So one of these days is your day, and make that day today. You're not gonna ever get ahead if you don't start. Stop procrastinating and let's get to it. If you really want something, visualize yourself there. Think about the rewards. Think about how wonderful it's gonna feel when you're there. Something that really helped my mindset was inspirational quotes and listening to speakers that have really inspiring things to say. One of the really good inspirational speakers that I was introduced to by my boyfriend was David Goggins. Just look up some of his motivational quotes or watch one of the videos that's out there on YouTube with David Goggins speaking, and you're just gonna feel so motivated to start something. Like, for example, one of his quotes, "Life is the most brutal endurance sport of all time. If you want to get better, do the things that no one else wants to do." He just has so much wisdom, and I really admire some of his motivational quotes. And actually, he has a whole entire book, and you can read that on audiobook if you want. Which leads me to my second point. If you want to have a good reading material while you're out running or walking, then you can get his audiobook and take up some walking or running. Because our second point is activity levels. This part of the whole lifestyle change to get those activity levels up. I used to be a couch potato basically. I always had the excuse that my knees hurt. and there's no way that I can run. I can't go up these stairs. My knees hurt. I have bad knees. And that was always my excuse. But I mean, I went out there and I did it. I just started walking. Just walk. My boyfriend was a very active person when I met him, and he is still very active, and I think it was because of him motivating me that I really got out of that comfort zone of not being able to go anywhere and blaming my knees, because I really wanted to spend time with him. I got up off the couch and I started walking with him. We walked places. We walked 9 miles around the lake once, and that was exhausting. And then eventually I started to run. That was something else for me. I never thought that I would run again. So I ran. First, it started off with 1 mile run, and by half a mile, I was dying. I was throwing up. I felt that I wasn't gonna be able to make it. I just wanted to sit there and just pass out. But I remembered David Goggins, and there's a quote that he says, I don't stop when I'm tired, I stop when I'm done. I wasn't done yet. I still had to finish that mile. So I kept going. And I kept going, and I went, and I finished the mile, and I got all the way to the 1 mile. And next thing you know, I'm going 1.5 miles, and then I'm going 2 miles, and then 2.5 miles, and then 3 miles, until finally I did a whole 5K, which is 3.11 miles. And that was my goal. I had wanted to do a 5K years ago, but then, like I said, the excuse was always there that, oh, I have bad knees, I would never be able to do it, so I convinced myself that I never would, and here I am, achieving a 5K finally, for once in my life. I was just so happy that, this goal that I didn't think was achievable at first finally happened. Once you start getting used to running and being active, then it's really life-changing. Your body just starts feeling better. You start feeling good. Going back to where I started, 1, your mindset. You gotta have that mindset of I can do it. 2, you gotta go out there and do it. And then our third point, food. So food for me has always been the hardest point. One of the things that really helped me with being able to control food was HelloFresh. I'm not sponsored or anything, but HelloFresh actually really helped with my food intake. I learned how to cook because I used to be, the type of person that always went out to eat. I didn't know how to properly make myself some meals, but after I learned how to cook using these recipes, I started being able to make my own food. I started making it like a really fun little activity that me and my boyfriend would do together. I looked forward to actually cooking these foods, and they were delicious too. So it's not even like a diet food. It's just good food, and the portions are perfect because it's a perfect portion to satisfy the calorie intake that a regular human needs. So I just absolutely love that. And then since you only get a certain amount of meals per week, you can just start recreating the meals if you run out of them because you get to keep the recipe. That's definitely something that really helped me into this journey of being able to lose weight. Another big thing was taking in a lot of water. I got a gigantic jug and I drank so much water every day. I basically take that jug with me everywhere I go, even if I just go to the grocery store. That big jug comes with me. I'm always drinking water. Last big thing that I want to touch on just in this video, because I plan on doing more videos that goes a little more in depth into these 3 points. One big thing I want to touch on right quick is sugar intake. For women, I believe you shouldn't take more than about 24, and maybe 24, 26 grams of sugar a day, and for men about maybe 30-ish, something like that, grams of sugar. So I was forced to basically look at my sugar intake, and I mean sugar is everywhere. It is in bread. I didn't even realize it was in bread one day, and I'm just like, I just want this piece of bread, and my boyfriend's like, do you know how much sugar is in bread? And bread has sugar, you guys. Bread has sugar. So sugar intake, water, and learn to cook. those are the main things that I wanted to touch on with the food. To recap right quick, it was mindset is the number one thing. You have to prep your mind for it. You have to really want it. You have to know that this is going to be hard and that this is going to be a change, but it's gonna change your life and you're gonna feel so good about it. Number two, your activity levels have to go up. For me, I started running, and running has just been what has been working for me. I also started going to the gym a lot. I was the type of person that did not know how to go to the gym, but I will touch more on that in another video. Tip number three was food, and so that's less sugar, more water, and learn to cook. I know it's probably a little everywhere on this video, but I just really wanted to share those top three things. Definitely subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely get to a lot more in depth with these. This is just kind of like a small intro so that I could sort of go over my main points, but I definitely plan on diving full force into this. I mean, this is part of my life now. I lost weight over a year ago now, and I've still kept it off. So, and I've realized that this is just my life now. This is my lifestyle, and actually I feel like I'm living my best life. I know that sounds cliche, but it's and I still feel like a normal person. Like I'm not like a gym rat or like one of those like ultra yoga people or one of those vegans that's like always eating green. I eat like normal. I just, I still eat sugar. Like I said, I just limit the sugar just to make sure that I don't have too much. So, but every time I eat like a cupcake or something, like I really enjoy it because I don't feel guilty eating it like I used to in the past. But I feel really good. I enjoy my food. I do regular exercises to have my body feel good. It's just part of that new lifestyle that has really enriched my life. So I really hope that this will help you. Oh, quick disclaimer, of course, because everybody has to say it. I'm not a dietitian, a nutritionist, a doctor, or anything like that. These were definitely just some tips that they helped me. If you can take anything from this, then I hope that it's at least inspiration, or that maybe you'll look into following something that will help you on your own journey. Definitely stick around because I'll be working on some more content for this channel. I've got a lot of things to go over. There's just not enough time in one video, so definitely keep an eye out for that. See ya!